Hello dear friends, it's Fisher here. Today we continue with our beautiful stories, The Power of the Spirit by Alfred Hosp, also known as Freddy in the book. Today is Bruno giving a talk in Sunday morning. And then while he was about to give his speech, and then the bell from near church rings. And Bruno said to his acquaintance, "Yes, dear friends, the bells invite us to divine service, and those who wish to go there should do so, each one to the church and the denomination that is needful for them. But bear in mind that a service for God must at the same time be a service for yourself, in honest spiritual striving for the good. Otherwise, it is not divine service at all, but just hypocrisy. It then becomes the lie on which so much has already come to grief and will come to grief again. One often hears people complaining, 'In church so-and-so is so devout, and at home with his relatives he only causes misery through the evil that he gives out.' So who is surprised if so many people lose their faith in their neighbor? A religious creed or confession is only worth something when it is honestly meant and put into practice in every situation." And Bruno also holding a Bible in his hand, and he said, "Read the Bible often and calmly, but do not stay stuck on the individual words themselves. Read more between the lines, without any inner reserve. Allow the meaning of the text to work on you, and you will suddenly know what it was like back then, what Jesus wanted to make clear with his parables, and still wants to make clear today. The word that has been handed down to us, all on its own, is empty. But what one becomes aware of in oneself by means of it is alive." And Bruno hand the Bible to Lilo and ask her, "Please open this book wherever you like and read out the text your eyes immediately fall upon." And Lilo opened the Bible and read, "I will come again like a thief in the night, and no one will recognize me." And Bruno nodded his head and said, "Yes, that is so in there. So read the Bible often and read it every day. You will need it in the future for yourselves and your friends and family." Bruno never openly spoken about his teaching, his teaching, and then related to Christ. And then Bruno never openly promotes any religions. And then he always say, whoever, regardless any religion or any people from any country, and then I'm here for them all. And this paragraph is linking to Bruno's teaching to Christ. So basically, Bruno said, as often we found people in the church, and people always go to the church, and then in the church they do the service, and then they sing they do the prayer, and then they sing the hymn, whatever song, they praise God, glorify God, and then as soon as they walk out of church, and then you notice, and then their behavior changes, so they only go to church and give empty services. And then Bruno called this is not a divine service, but a hypocrisy. It's a lie. If somebody convinced of something, if he goes to church, he should genuinely believe and also put whatever he believes in practice in every situation. So regardless, like what people like, the temple you go and churches and mosque or whatever, if you really genuinely believe that, you should always put it in practice, dear friends. And then I see today in China, lots of temples. It's not religious anymore. It's not spiritual anymore. Lots of Buddhist temples now become very commercial. And then the Shaolin Temple, even on the stock market. First time I heard that, it sounded like a joke to me. So a religious or a spiritual place is on the stock market. So it's for sale. It's for profit. And then lots of temples now these days in China, not limited to China. And then they have their professional monks. The monks work there as the professionals, like a plumber or electrician. They go there, work Monday to Friday, or maybe Monday to Saturday. I don't know. And then they go home and they live a normal life after they finish working as a monk. So, and then they have a wife and children. So that is not devotion. Everything is so materialized these days, and I mean to say commercialized. Everything has to link to money. That is a problem with human societies. Whatever we do, and then first it has to make money. It doesn't have to be like that, dear friends. So as what Bruno said, a service to God is always a service to yourself. What does it mean? A service to God, do we just say things, just to praise God without being convinced in our inner self, and then without putting everything in practice? So that is not a service. And Bruno mentioned about reading a Bible, and then reading what Jesus parables. And also he said, do not get stuck on the individual words, because the Jesus parable sometimes it is difficult to understand. There are millions of interpretations. And then, but rather you be calm and without inner reserve. Be calm, peaceful, and let the meaning come to you. And then we realize what Jesus was talking about 2,000 years ago, he's still talking about now. And then, not because we just read the words, but rather we understand the meaning of it. Not the textbook meaning, but the spiritual meaning. What Jesus is trying to say, what message he brings to humanity. The words itself, by its own, is empty. But only when we get the spirit from the word, and then it is alive. And then we put it in practice, believe in the good, love yourself, and love your neighbors as yourself. And then the words of Jesus become alive to us. And then we have many Bruno's associations. They normally dissociate Bruno with Jesus because the pre-judgment. Because when we're talking about Jesus, we already have the preconception that's Christians, that's Christianity. So lots of associations, like whoever promotes Bruno's teaching would not like to link Bruno to Christ. And so this way we won't attract people from other religions. It really doesn't matter that Jesus did not come for the Jews alone. Jesus did not come for the Christian alone. He came for the whole humanity. And then only later on we make the religion out of it. So in essence, a teaching is teaching. A wisdom is a wisdom, whether that's from Christ or from a Buddha, or from any wise, enlightened human beings, or the love from any wise, enlightened loving human beings. It's always the same. So we need to think out of the boxes, dear friends. And then to attain a loving heart, attain knowledge. Wish you have a good day and God bless.